Hello? Hello, we're recording? We're recording? Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna make it out alive, but whoever finds this tape, I have been locked in my basement. I've locked myself in my basement because there's something in my house trying to kill me. I don't know what it is. It looks one of those, like, those alien, like, things from the alien movies, like a xenomorph or whatever. But I never thought they existed. I thought they only existed in movies and stuff. But I've locked myself in the room, so there's no way that they could possibly get me in. Hey guys, Ryder the Nerd here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aliens Colonial Marines Raven figure. Yeah, so I've had this figure for about, I want to say about maybe 2 or 3 years. I think I've had this figure for. So I got this guy in my local comic book store, and he was about $60 when I got him. If you're wondering how did I afford this figure, I actually bought him with my own money, my birthday money that I got for my birthday, because it was, I think it was the day after my birthday, and I wanted to go see what was there, so I just, kind of looked at the comic book store, because the comic book store that I have, they have some really good stuff over there, so, I picked this guy up, and he was actually one of my first Alien figures, that I got. I did get a Alien, like, bobblehead. He was kind of like a, he had like a little sun, like a solar thing, so when the sun hits it, he like rocked back and forth, so his body rocks back and forth, but his head stays still. So that was the first thing, and I also got that at the comic book store. And then I got this guy, then I ordered the Neomorph, and then I got a Funko Pop of it, then I got some plushies, and then I got another Neomorph figure. So I'm basically just all over the place when it comes to Alien stuff. I'm a really big fan of Alien franchise, and just to let you guys know, Aliens Colonial Marines, the game, sucks ass. Do not play it, stay away from it. One of the most god-awful games I have ever seen. So I won't spill my opinion and go in depth about the game, because we are a toy review channel and a nerd channel, and that's for freaking Angry Joe and all those guys to make fun of video games and talk about it, so I'm not going to go into depth with it, but let's take a look at this figure. So, on first glance, a very nice looking figure. He's a very tall figure. He's about, I think the Neomorph is actually taller than him, so he's basically smaller than the Neomorph. He's up to, like, the Neomorph's, like, kind of mid-arm. That's how tall he is. That's how tall the Neomorph. Not this Neomorph. This one that I got. The first one that I got. So let's take a look at this guy. So, painting and sculpting, very nice. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be any paint. But trust me, it is there. But it's very light. So, most of the body is black. But there is some painting on this guy, especially when it comes to the orange on this figure, which I don't know why they choose the orange. I think it would have looked a little bit better when they used dark green, like acid or something, but, you know, but, oh, by the way, if you're wondering what the hell is the Raven, I've never I've never even heard of that, and also, why does it look like a freaking, like, I'm trying to think of something. Why does it look like the grandma that comes to every New Year's party, but everybody hates her? I don't know. That's, like, the best that I got. But it's actually in the Colonial Marines video games. You have the Queen, you have the regular aliens, the Xenomorphs, whatever, and then you have the, and then you actually have some, like, evolutions or, like, new Xenomorph, characters that they introduced. They introduced the Raven, the Crusher, the Spitter, the Boiler, and that's pretty much all I can think of right now. But the Raven was the cheapest one I could get. The Crusher, he was also there at the comic book store. He was way expensive, out of my price range, so I got this guy instead. But as I was saying about the painting and sculpting, so you can see the very nice, like, kind of like, what do you call it? You have the orange going along the tail, and it is in some grooves, so you can see it's all the way along the tail, and also it's even on top of the head, in the shoulder, pads area, and even in some of like the vent grooves, so you can kind of see some orange in between those. Oh, it's way better on this arm, so you can kind of see, and also in between like the spikes, and you can see that as well. So that's awesome. So that's great. And also, the technique that they use to do that is dry brushing. So if you don't know what dry brushing is where you refer to modeling. It usually refers to modeling, but it basically can be used for anything. So basically what you do is that you take a paintbrush and you dab it in your favorite paint that you're going to use for your, I don't know why I said favorite, but like paint that you're going to use to make your figure, to make it look like rusty or weathered or anything like that. You take up your paintbrush, dip it in the paint that you want, wipe it on some Kleenex or napkin, and then you just go crazy with it. So that's basically what they did here. So you can see that is all dry brushing in there as well, even in the little grooves as well. So that's awesome. So very nice. And so let's move on to like the sculpting. So the sculpting is very nice. I do like it. It's very accurate to the game if I cared, but I do like it that it's accurate. And also, if you see all these spiny bits here, they are ridiculously sharp. Anything that looks pointy and spiny and you think it's gonna hurt you, it will hurt you, okay? Especially these ones on the elbow. These ones are sharp as hell. The tail, the tip of the tail is made out of this soft rubber, but even doing this, it stings for like a little bit and then it goes away. So if you're holding this guy and posing him, you are going to get scratches on yourself. And I did cut myself because when I took him out of the box, I did not expect him to have him like that sharp. So when I posed the elbow, I accidentally pressed too hard and I cut myself. And I was about to sue, just kidding. But anyway, let's look at the, there's not much. Oh, before we move on to the articulation, if you see this face here, kind of turn it to the side. So it looks like a regular xenomorph head with some spines, and then you see like the face, and it looks like its face is all burnt off. So in the game, it looks like its face got sprayed with acid, probably from fighting other xenomorphs or something like that. And you could see like the eye socket, the nose part here, and you can even see the teeth there, but they're not sharp. They're like human-like teeth. And then you have like these little mandibles. And so, if you're really interested of, like, how, like, because I can't really explain, because I don't have, like, a script with me to, like, explain all. So, if you really want to learn more about this figure, and also see how bad the game is, just go on YouTube, search up Aliens Colonial Marines Review, or just Alien Colonial Marines Raven Explained, whatever. So, let's actually move on to the articulation now, and stop rambling. So, for articulation, he has a ball joint at the head, obviously, but the ball joint at the neck and the head, they are there. So there's a ball joint linking to the neck and the ball joint linking to the head to the neck. So in that, they work in tandem to get some very, very nice, like, up and down curves. So basically, he can look up that far, and he can look down very far, and that almost drew blood. I literally was holding that figure, not even that tight, but just making it. It's like literally pressing up against me. And then on the back here, the spines here, they are also on ball joints. So you see these four here, they're on ball joints. So ball joint here, ball joint here, ball joint here, ball joint here. And this one in the middle has a hinge joint. And back to the head, his mouth can open and you can see the inner mouth, but we'll get to that later. For the arms here, they are very limited. So basically, the arms can move like that. So they can basically move up and down. But basically he can move like, they can move forward, but they can't move back at all. Oh, never mind. They can move like that. Beautiful. So you just have to take a little bit of time. Maybe if you are going to get this figure, because the joints on this figure are very tight even after 2 or 3 years, just heat it up with a hairdryer, and then hopefully it will work. I didn't do this with this figure. I just thought it now. It works with, like, tight figure joints. So if your figure is, like, really tight, just heat it up with a hairdryer, especially if they're rubber. So you take whatever, but I'm just going to stop rambling. But over here, for the hinge joint at the base, it's very limited. That's all you can do, but it doesn't matter. So then you have a elbow swivel here, and then you have a just an elbow here. But there is a hinge joint at this elbow here. If you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. There's a hinge joint there, but it doesn't work. Like, that is all that you can do. And I don't want to break this figure. And, but that's basically all you're going to get. And if you can see here, if you're wondering why his other hand is missing, it's because if you see in there, you see that white speck up there? That is stress marks. And I never posed that hand. I posed the hand a couple of times. I mostly posed that hand. And then, but basically, since the joints were so, like, tight, when I was turning it, it was, or maybe it was just really thin, like, ball joint plastic, but it literally broke off. And here's the hand here. So here you have the hand, and then if you see in there, if you're wondering what the hell is that, you are looking at a mangled corpse of a ball joint right there. So that's fantastic. But, you know, it doesn't really bother me that much anymore. I just consider that battle damage, I guess. But basically the same thing on the other arm. And then there's a ball joint at the mid-ab section, so you can get some crunch. So we're with the head and, like, the ab crunch, you can get some pretty good, like, crunching and forward movement. So that's awesome. And also, it's a ball joint, so you know, you got a swivel there. And then over here, you have a ball joint and a hinge joint. So basically, he can kick that far and move back that far. But the ball joint and the hip placement is so weird. So when it turns at a weird angle, and I hate it. I hate all that stuff with the figures on it. And also, that's the spread, and you can't really move it, but you're gonna have to do this. So that's the spread there. So just do that. That's the spread. Beautiful. So, ow, I just cut myself again. Jesus, these spines hurt like crazy. Not exaggerating, guys. So for the knee here, they have a so they have a bend of the knee, but they also have a double bend of the knee. So you have like two like hinge joints here, so they work in tandem, and also the knee pad don't do anything. So do that as well. And then over here you have a swivel there, so it's like a pivot, and also it can also do that. And also I'm starting to see, yep, that's a stress mark as well. You can see that in there. Okay, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see some white in there. So just look closely, and you can see some white in there. That's a stress mark as well. And then you have these little, all the toes are on hinge joints, so you can get some toe bend and stuff like that. And then finally, for the tail here, it's on a bendy wire. And I do like how the Xenomorph NECA figures, by the way, this is by NECA, who's made the Neomorph and the other Neomorph that I did. So, yeah, bendy tail as well. I love the aliens with the bendy tails. It's very nice. I do like it. And then, before we move on, the opening mouth yet again. And for the inner mouth, you just had to swing it down, and then there you go. Inner mouth time. And also it also still has that orange detail in there, so very nice. Put it in there. Now, we are going to move on to accessories. No, my backdrop, freaking damn. Did I say damn or dim? It sounded like I said dim, but I think I said damn. So, move him there. Just hold on. His feet don't like to stand. He doesn't like to stand up very well. There you go. Perfect. So let's move on to the accessories. So I mentioned the broken hand here, but he does have interchangeable hands. So here they are. Here they all are. But, so they have different pairs with them. So there are different pairs. So this one goes with that hand, and it broke fantastically. I might actually get my dad to super glue that, but it won't move. But at least it's there, because I won't pose it anyway. And then we have these two pairs of hands, which, to be honest, I can't really see the difference. Can't really see the difference here. Yeah, they basically look like the same. It's basically the same. Hold on, can I just look at these for like a second? I just want to see if they're actually different or I'm just going crazy. Looking further. Like, I'm actually, like, I think I'm going crazy. Hold on. Yes. I found the difference. Thorough investigation. I have found that this hand actually has its fingers closer together instead of this hand. This hand has way more further apart fingers Then, where's the other one? Where did I lose it? Right here. Further apart than this one. Me big brain. Me smart brain. Anyway, move on from the other hands. Here we have the last pair of hands, which are flat fingers. So the hands are just kind of chill. So, touchy hands. For the last accessory is his base. So you have these two panels here. Now, they are great. So, like a vent or like the base of the actual video game takes place, LV426. And also, you can see these little pegs here. If you're wondering why are they just like separate, how come they're not together, NECA decided it was a brilliant idea to include this really tiny 2-piece connector bits. So you can see this here. So you can see all these little grooves and stuff there. So you can basically interchange the stand. So you can be like, this one here, that one here, but he perfectly stands perfectly fine on his own, the post that I got him in. You just have to work with the joints, and then if it's not too stressful for you, then you can get it. But why do they include these really small connector bits, and I don't even have, like, I don't even have the 2-piece connector bit anymore. I lost them, so that was big brain smart on that part. And also you can see Aliens, Colonial Marines, 2015. So, by the way, that's not where the year that I got it from. That's when it was manufactured. So, but if you really want to see how a stand works, there are some holes in the feet here, but since they're on hinge joints, it's a little bit tight. And also, you kind of have to, and the first time that I did this is I actually cut myself because I was like, oh, I'm just putting them on the stand, nothing too bad. And then I slid my hand and then I cut myself on this part and also on the shoulder part. So, but damn, you really wanted to see that? There. Fucking get out of here. Oops. God damn it. Oh, God. Come on. Okay. Well, guys, that is pretty much it for this review. So if you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe. I don't care what you do, but you guys know what time it is. So, bye, guys.